Good afternoon, fourth grade. Welcome back to another day of science learning. Today is Monday, September 21st. This week we are going to begin learning more about going into our learning about soil, rocks, and landforms. We will be starting doing our investigations and different types of experiments. So I'm very excited to start that with you today. But before we do that, there are two important things that we have to do. The first thing is creating our science journal, which is what we are going to be using to record all the information that we gathered through our investigations. And it's going to help us work like scientists, so we are able to keep track of what we observe, the any information that we gather, data, anything, all that we are going to be doing in our science investigations is going to be tracked in our journal, so that we are able to come back and look at all the information that we gathered. I am going to be showing you today what you need to do to set up your science journal, so that when we begin recording our observations and making different hypotheses and predictions, it is ready to we are ready to record it in. The second thing is I need everyone to complete the soil, rocks, and landform survey. This survey is meant to help me know what you know based on our environment, what you know about the soil in our ground, what you know about the landforms in our environment and how they are made. And it also helps you take a pause before we begin learning, to see what you know now, and then when we come back at the end of these investigations, we're going to be able to see what you learned and how much you have progressed. So it is important that everybody takes this quick little survey of soils, rocks, and landforms. And I know some of the questions you may have you thinking, I don't know, I haven't learned that yet. That is okay. That is the purpose of completing that survey, so that I can know what you know and how we're going to move forward to help you learn this new material. And if you come to a question that you don't know the answer to, that is fine. Do your best based on what you know in your brain, based on what you observed in the real world, and answer it to the best of your ability. It is not going to be graded based on what you get right or wrong. I just want to know your thinking. So the survey is going to be in today, Monday. It's going to say, answer me last. But for now, let's get started on our science journal. This is our science journal. I asked everyone to please get a composition book just like that. The very first thing I want you to do is first write your name. I wrote Miss Ramos for me. And then science journal, so that you know that this book is only meant to be used for science, so that where we can record our information. All right. So our science journal is going to be filled of lots of pages. Since it's going to have lots of different pages, it is important that we have a table of contents. Your table of contents will look like this. It would say table of contents on top, and then I divided it into 3 columns. First, I have the date going down here, the topic which we are talking about, and then the page number. As you can see, I wrote today's date 09/21, table of contents, pages 1 through 8. That sounds like it seems like that's a lot of pages, but that's so that we are able to have space for each post that we make. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is to create your first page is your table of contents. and set it up just like that. I'm going to post a clear picture so that you can see what it's supposed to look like. On my next 8 pages, it looks exactly like that. Show it for you right now. Has the first column is the date, the big middle column is the entry or topic, and the last column is page and number. So we're going to work on that right now. Our first 8 pages. Once you do, when you make a page, what I want you to do is write, starting from the very first page, write the page number right at the bottom, just like that. 1. Feel free to pause this video whenever you need, whatever you need, so that you can write each page. Table of content, page 2. Table of content, page 3. Table of content, page 4. Now, I stopped there just because I wanted to show you how I did my table of content. Page number, date, entry, topic, page number. You want to write that on the very first line, just like that. Date, entry, topic, page number. You can see how usually there's that red line right here. That's where you want to draw the first line down to separate the column, and then the same on this side. That way you have the entry in the middle. And what you want to do next is draw a line right under entry and topic, and under that first line. Just like that. So I want you to repeat that for the next 3 pages. At the end, you should have 8 pages labeled date, entry, page number. 4. The next step that I want you to do is, so that we can be ready for our first couple of investigations, is to number your notebook from pages 8 until page 16. I don't want you to spend too much time right now to numbering pages to the end, but for right now, right here down at the bottom corner of every page, you're gonna number each page to number page 16. So I'll do it with you too. 9, 10, 11, page 16. We're not gonna label all the way to the end during this video. At the end of the video, I will give you further instructions on numbering the page. What I want you to do now is go to the back of your book. You're gonna open it up to the very last page. You're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yes. The last 4 pages of your book is going to be your index. Your index is it's where we are going to write our vocabulary words that are important and that we can know what page number in our science notebook to find them in. Your first index page, you're going to write index at the very top, INDEX, just like that. And you're going to divide your page down the middle, the line down the middle, and then you're going to divide it into 3 and through 6 boxes. So you're going to make one line. Let's see how many lines I made it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the very first line, you're going to write the letter A. And then after that, you're going to count down 6 spots, 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you have that 6th line, right on there, you're going to draw a line going across. Then you should have 2 columns, one for A and one for B. It is important that you leave the amount of space the amount of lines that I am letting you know. That way we have space for each of our vocabulary words that we're going to be using throughout our learning. So next one we have C. Write the letter C right below, and then under C you're going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And count 8 lines under the letter C and draw a line there. So you should have A, B, C, D, and then your last one should be E and F. They should fill to the bottom of the page. Your next page for index is to the letters G and N. For the letter G, you're going to write index on the very first big line that you have at the very top. You're going to write index. On the first line, you're going to write G and H. Remember, divide it down the middle. First thing, you want to divide it down the middle. You're going to write G and H. And under G, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 lines under G and H. You're going to draw a line going across, just like that. Next is I and J. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines under I and J. You're going to, and then write it across, just like that. For K, you're going to write the letter K. Then under K, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines going down under K and draw it across. And then the last space that you have at the bottom, M and N, you're going to have that right there. Give you a couple of seconds. Just like that. Our next index page is for O and P. First, you're going to divide it down the middle, the line down the middle, just like that. On one side, you're going to write O. On the other side, you're going to write P. You're going to count under, when you write O, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines, and then you're going to draw a line going right across. And then the next letter you're going to write is Q and R. You're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines going down. I'm going to write a line across, just like that. Then S and T. S and T, there's going to be a couple of vocabulary words that we're going to have that begin with the letter S and T. We're going to leave all that space to the bottom. Turn to our very last page of our index. So our index, first line, we're going to write index on the big top line. On the very first tiny line, we're going to write the letter U, the letter V. Under those letters, we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count 5 spaces and then write a line going across just like that. After you do U and V, you're going to go to W and X. Count, write the letter W, the letter X, and then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 lines. They're going to go across. You're going to have Y and Z at the very bottom. There won't be that many words for Y, and I don't think, and not any for Z, but it's important that we have that space. Alright, so now we're going to number from the back, just so that we know where our index pages are. My book has 199 pages because I had to rip out a page, but most of your books will have 200 pieces of paper. So you're going to count backwards from 200 and number each page at the very bottom corner. So let's do that at the now. Let's start numbering our pages. If you aren't sure how many pages your notebook has, if it's different than 200, you can always check at the cover. It will say 100 sheets, 200 pages. The number that is bigger, that's how many pages your book has. So you're gonna start counting backwards. I'm gonna start writing my page numbers in. 199. 198. 7. So now your book should be labeled Table of Contents. Your first 8 pages should be Table of Contents. Just like that. Okay. You have your pages numbered right here up to the number 16, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And then you should have the last 4 pages of your book. It should be your index. Just like that. The letters A through Z have in their each box so that we can record the vocabulary words that we have, and that we know where we use them and what pages we can find them on. In order so that I can know that you completed this, I'm going to show you directions next on how to show me upload a picture on how that you did this. You're going to find that document, the document where you can upload your pictures below this video. It is going to say Complete Me Second Science Notebook. I created a document where you can share a picture of each page of your science journal on Google Docs. Everyone has their own individual document. The document looks something like this. It's going to say cover page. On cover page, what I want you to what I would like you to share is just the front cover of your journal with your name, and it says Science Journal. In order to share a picture, what you are going to do is going to to the top bar of the document. You're going to see File, Edit, View, Insert. You're going to click on Insert. Very first one is Images. When you click on Images, it's going to say Upload from the computer, search the web, Drive, Photo, URL. I'm going to make it easy and click on Camera. Your web camera will open up, and you will take your science journal and just put it up front, the web page, the very first cover, and then you will insert it in there. That's what you will do for each page. So the first one is your cover page. Next is the table of contents. You have 8 table of contents, so you're going to do that for each 8 pages. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the index pages, which is 4 pages, is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So remember, you're going to click Insert, Image, and click on Camera. So now that you uploaded, now you will upload you will do your notebook, post the pictures in that document that I shared with you, and after you do that, you will complete the science survey. Remember, please do not get too stressed out about it. These are just some questions that I want to know what you know already, and what we will be working to move forward.